Folks, we're back. This is Steve Sanson, Michael McDonald, Veterans in Politics. Today, our guest is going to be Rob Lauer, who's the CEO of Spaceport. And we're going to talk to Mr. Lauer in a minute. But Mike, you have any rants?
Space, the final frontier.
Good. Mike has no rant.
No, I do have a rant about the traffic's been crazy since the school's been coming back in.
You know something? You know what needs to be Nevada's new symbol?
What?
A cone. A traffic cone.
Yeah, they're everywhere, right?
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
No matter where you go, traffic cone.
I was just talking to Rob. I was like, Rob, we got to get flying cars, man. We got to, maybe
people can't drive. How they gonna fly?
No, ABC Corp and Uber, they were actually experimenting with autonomous drone cars. So they'll pick you up. You just go to Uber, and a drone car can pick you up and drive it. It's all completely autonomous. So the computers and the navigation would do it all.
I'll wait for a good year to get out all the kinks. The kinks.
Amazon already has autonomous taxis here in Vegas.
Well, they're supposed to have the drone deliveries too, right? And what happened with that? Oh. They want to shoot them out of the sky or something?
Here's the problem, though. You have all these cones, and I'm telling you, half the time there's not even any construction going on.
No.
I'm like, why is there cones here? Yeah. Blocking the lane.
And how many times are they going to dig up one street?
Right?
And decrease the lanes.
How many times are they going to dig it up?
And we got to tell the police, don't just pull somebody over. If you see a traffic jam, everybody sits there and looks at the guy getting pulled over. Come on, it's not worth.
Okay, those are the people that should get beat, right? You stop and look at another accident.
Yeah.
You should be able to get out and just beat their car. I'm just saying.
Rob, let's make a car that's just a vertical take off. I see this huge open sky. We got plenty of space.
Yeah, long rant.
So actually,
okay, yeah, that's about
Elon Musk is building tunnels.
Yeah. And
he's saying you can go down as far as you want. You can multiple tunnels. He's building tunnels all throughout Las Vegas.
Yeah. That would be cool too.
To do what?
To drive. They're operational right now. Right now, you can get in a tunnel in a Tesla and go from the convention center to the Wynn Hotel.
Yeah, the Hyperloop. Right? Yeah.
The boring tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty cool.
All right, well.
So thank you for being here today, though, Rob. We appreciate it.
And this program is brought to you by Ron Quince, who's running for Congressional District Number 1, and Stephanie Phillips, who's running for United States Senate. So, Mr. Wow, please tell us about yourself. You've been on the show a few times.
I don't think I've ever been on the show.
You've never been on the show?
Never been on your show. Never invited me.
No.
You've never had me on. Never?
You've never been on the show?
You've never had me on.
We've been on since 2005. You've never been on the show.
You talked about News 360 before.
No. You've
never had me on.
Really?
No.
Oh, well, shit. You probably didn't have nothing to talk about.
I had nothing.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, I am self-employed. I've been in real estate development since I was 21 years old. I have several businesses here in Vegas. I have 360 News Las Vegas with 150,000 followers. I'm also in real estate development. I've been working on a whole new project for the last year. It just came out of the press, a major real estate development, which we'll get into later. And I've been in the military. I'm a veteran.
Thank you for your service.
Don't thank me, thank my recruiter, right? So they tell you in drill.
Who said sucker?
So your drill sergeant says, right? Don't thank me. Thank
you. You were in Air Force, right?
I was Army military police.
Looks like an Air Force.
I know. I thought it was. I saw
Army,
Air Force
military police.
Military MP. Huh?
Yes.
Oh.
Who likes those people?
Wait, officer or enlisted?
I was an E4. I was a specialist.
Okay. He was a specialized in what?
Put my boot up people's ass. That was what I specialized in.
Please continue.
Yeah. So I've been in real estate here for many, many years, off and on, doing all kinds of real estate. And so I had this idea about a year ago when I saw Elon Musk launching rockets, and I saw Virgin Atlantic flying out of a spaceport in Mojave Desert, and I thought, oh, why doesn't Vegas have one? And I started doing research, and I found, there's 14 spaceports in the country, all over the country. And I'm thinking,
where?
Well, they have one in Georgia, they have one in Texas, they have one in New Mexico, they have one in Virginia, they have a couple in Florida, they have one in California, a couple, Alaska. They're all over the country, but we have none in the state. And you look at Las Vegas, and Las Vegas, I think, is the best place in the entire country for a spaceport. First of all, this year we'll have 42 million tourists. And a lot of these people spend, thousands of dollars on a hand of poker. So we have the folks here, the tourists here, to be able to tap into that market and bring them to our location. So about a year ago in November, I bought 240 acres in Clark County, halfway to Pahrump, and it's surrounded by 100,000 acres of government land. We got water, we got a well, and we're actually in the process of building a runway out there. And we're going to start offering to civilians, to tourists, zero gravity flights. So we're going to have a jet where you can get on like the astronauts do. It'll go up to about 30,000 feet and do 10,000 foot, what's called parabolic loops. And each one of those creates zero gravity. So we can actually simulate gravity on Mars versus space versus the moon. So people can actually experience zero gravity or those environments. So you can actually go, and you can do that right now in Florida. So we're doing the same thing here. We're going to have that offered next year. We're also going to have a fighter jet, and you're going to be able to get on that fighter jet and take you to the edge of space. And you'll sit there in a fighter jet, and we have a video of this on our website and at lasvegasspaceport.org. And you can sit there, and you'll be at 30,000, 40,000 feet, and you'll see the curvature of the Earth. You'll see the Milky Way. You'll see the stars all around you. I've done it myself, and it's the most amazing experience in the world.
So that 240 acres, do you have any electricity?
Not yet. We're gonna. So we're working out a deal with Nye County Co-op. They have power lines about 1.25 miles to bring power lines to our property. We're also going to put, of course, solar. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of room. There's actually we're right across the highway from the Yellow Pine Solar Project. So that's the perfect place for solar. So the other part is. The real goal of this facility here is to build an industry. So we're going to build a STEM academy. In fact, we just got space shuttle astronaut Jose Hernandez to join our company. And he's going to lead our STEM academy. So after high school, it'll be a 2-year accelerated aerospace engineering school that we're going to have here in Las Vegas, where you can send your kids to, and it'll be a military academy. So we're going to train them in leadership. We're going to give them some discipline, which a lot of young people I think really desperately need.
So you're going to train astronauts?
Well, they're not going to be necessarily astronauts. We're trying right now. There's a huge problem and a huge need for human capital here in Nevada, all over the country, in the industry. So we're going to actually go out and recruit kids to come in and train them in aerospace engineering and give them internships and get them jobs. Building rockets in the industry.
We're lacking the highly qualified and educational applicants for that. And we also, Steve, you heard about Space Force, right? So there's a new branch of the government or the military called Space Force. So that
who brought that to the forefront?
I believe it was through the Air Force. So the Air
Donald
Force,
Trump.
Oh yeah, Donald Trump. Okay, well, but they had a special division. Now they made a name for it, Space Force.
It's its own branch.
Yeah.
They're training their own branch.
So you're building like a Starfleet over there, where you can.
Well, so what's interesting is this would actually be the first and only privately owned spaceport in the country. All the other 14 that we mentioned are owned by county governments or by the federal government. This would be the first and only privately owned spaceport.
That's a lot of permits.
It's a long process. We have a lot of experts and a lot of advisors helping us get through the process. We have Dave Ruppel, who's the former director of the spaceport in Colorado. He helped them get their license. He's working for us now, getting our license. We have Colonel Dagger, who is the commander. He just retired in January. He was the commander of the Nevada Test Range. So he works for us. He's helping us with our permits and getting. This is all about airspace at the end of the day. It's not about real estate. It's about airspace. So right now, if you look at, I'm a pilot. I've been flying since I was 17. That's one of the first things I looked at.
Where do you fly?
Single and twin engine airplanes.
Cessnas?
Not Cessnas, but Pipers. And so you look at Clark County, and of course, throughout the entire valley, there's a big circle, and that's called Class C airspace, and that's basically airspace controlled by Harry Reid Airport. And then you have Nellis Air Force Base, and you have the Nevada Test Range. The Nevada Test Range controls 2/3 of the airspace in the whole state. So there's like one little piece of real estate right now in airspace where we're at that's open, uncontrolled. So what makes it a really unique investment is the fact that once we have that, you could have $1 billion and try to build another spaceport, but you won't get airspace. We have the last piece of airspace in Clark County that you can use. That's it.
I thought when you buy a piece of property, you own everything from the ground all the way up in the air.
No, ask Steve Sisolak.
Yeah.
Because he had property next to the Terminal 3. And he sued Clark County because they told him he can't build so high. So he sued them. I think he got about $17 million for it. And then he became, Clark County commissioner, president. Then he became governor. So that's the thing. You sue the state and you become governor.
There you go.
I'm going to try it. See what happens.
Politics. Wow.
So the airspace, so how do you control that?
Well, that's with the FAA. So there's actually an office of spaceports with the FAA.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin McCarthy, our Republican majority leader, back in 2015, wrote a bill called the Space Launch Commercialization Act of 2015. And it passed a Republican-controlled House and Senate, and a Democrat, President Obama, signed it, and that created this privatization and allowed for private spaceports, private rockets, and that's what really created the opportunity for SpaceX and Blue Origin, and right now, there's over 10,000 companies that have been started since that law came into effect, of companies trying to build rockets, trying to build satellites. This is a booming industry. This is like really the internet back in 1999, right? It's just exploding with growth. And there's so much opportunity. There's more natural resources on the moon than there are on Earth. There's more gold out there. People want those resources. And more importantly, we need to get up there and compete. There's a new international space race. You see today, India just landed a spacecraft on the moon today.
Really?
Yep. And 2 days ago, Russia tried to land one and they crashed it.
I heard about that.
So they failed. But the point is, there
was no astronauts in there.
No. Okay. So all these nations now are rushing to get those resources because it's cheaper to build stuff on the moon than to bring the resources from Earth to build stuff, right? So we can use the resources, the water, the resources out there.
There's water on the moon?
There's water on the moon. There is. They found it.
There's a lot of gold out there.
There's more gold on the moon than on Earth.
Yeah.
Really?
So there's supposed to be a new race for like asteroid mining and stuff like that.
There's an asteroid out there. You can Google it. That's worth $29 trillion in gold.
Really?
Yeah.
So the space travel, are you planning just to go to the moon? Where are you planning to go?
Well, I'm not planning to go anywhere. I'm planning to provide a spaceport where people can operate.
It's like the liability on that is way too much for me to handle.
Maybe one day.
But I do see the future, because I'm already talking to a lot of companies. I already see a lot of these companies there's over 130 companies right now trying to build space vehicles privately.
So all you're doing is a spaceport.
Well,
it's like a landing area.
It's a spaceport. We're gonna have a casino hotel. We're gonna have a terminal. we're gonna have hangars where people can bring their spacecraft and their vehicles to operate and run their businesses, satellites. I kind of like to say that we're selling the shovels to the guys out there trying to find the gold, right? That's what we're doing. But we're actually ultimately trying to create an industry. We're trying to build a vertically integrated company. So we're trying to build the human capital with the STEM Academy. We're going to provide a facility for people to fly out of and go to space. We're going to provide a place where they can. We're going to provide a place where they can bring their satellites and equipment and test it. Right now, if you have a satellite you want to create and build, you'd have to build your own testing facility.
Right.
So we're going to have that. So some of the people that we have on our board right now, we have Megan Crawford, who just joined our board. Mm-hmm. She's a venture capitalist. She started a space fund. And they've invested over $100 million in multiple space companies, including SpaceX, including Axiom. And one of the things they've identified is this need for an incubator for these companies to come and test their equipment and build their businesses out. And we believe we can be that. We actually had Lieutenant Governor Stavros Anthony at our site yesterday, gave him a tour. And so we're working with the governor, we're working with the lieutenant governor to create this micro business industry and try to bring these companies here and be competitive. Florida, Texas, Georgia, they're all competing for these businesses. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be the top. I mean, we have some of the best minds in the country. When you look at our military base and the folks that are coming out of there and Area 51 and all the technical minds we have in the state, and not to mention the fact that we have a moderate cost of living, we have no income tax. We're in my opinion, the very best location in the country.
Resort tax, I don't like it.
Well, you're building a hotel there too.
We are, yes.
Yeah.
See, he's going to charge resort tax. Aren't you going to charge some resort tax?
Well, I have no choice. That's up to the
See?
government. It's not my choice.
But you're going to have research and development on site. You're going to have are you going to be partnered with UNLV and Blackfire as well?
Our goal right now is to keep it private. That's our goal.
Are you getting any grants for this?
We're not getting grants at this point. Mm-hmm. So we're funding it through space tourism, through working with the tourists, bringing them in. We have multiple sources of revenue. We're going to be leasing the hangars. We're going to be actually putting on events there, conventions.
But where are you going to get your construction money from to build all this?
That's
stuff?
a great question. So we just formed a publicly traded company. So we're going to be selling stock in the future. Mm-hmm. So you can buy stock on the stock market in a couple of years.
Are you going to buy one of those space launchers? There's like a standalone unit that spins up super fast and shoots it all the way out to space. Have you heard of those?
I have no idea.
No, yeah, those are cool too. So it decreases the cost for rockets and all other stuff. It spins it at a super hyper rate and shoots it out to.
Well, I'm trying to understand this. So you're just building an airport, basically.
Well, we're building an airport right now. And we're going to start doing training for civilians and for space pilots. We're going to be providing training and a STEM academy. So this is a long-term strategy. This is not something.
Are you going to go like this, or are you going to go like this? How are you going to land?
So we're building an airport there. We're actually pulling permits starting next month.
So it's like
a runway.
It's like that.
So right now we're going to have aircraft flying in. There's not so. What you're talking about is vertical launch versus horizontal.
Yeah.
We will not at this point be pursuing vertical launch, only horizontal.
You won't have any helicopters?
So we will have helicopters, but we're talking about launch for rockets to space.
So you're gonna have to get the FAA to control all that air up there.
Well, we actually just made a deal with a company called Zero G Launch. Mm-hmm. It just was in the press, and that company uses a 757, and it puts a rocket on the belly. And it takes off out of an airport and goes up over the ocean, goes to 40,000 feet, and launches it into space. Mm-hmm. And it's not a new technology. It's been going. Pegasus was a program started by Lockheed Martin back in 1991, and they successfully launched 40 satellites into space with that technology. But what's new about this is it uses recycled rockets, and it actually taxi for other rockets and for test beds. And the gentleman who started this company worked for Elon Musk, worked for SpaceX as a rocket engineer, and he broke off and started his own company. He's partnered up with us. So that means we're not taking up any real airspace when we can take off with a 757 with a rocket on the belly, fly over to the ocean, go up to 40,000 feet, launch, and come back.
What ocean?
The Pacific.
Oh, okay. How far is that from here?
It's a 35-minute flight, 40-minute flight.
Okay.
That's not too far.
So your construction money, where are you getting that?
So we're raising capital right now. You can go on our website, you can go to our site, and you can actually buy stock today. So we're not looking to raise the $310 million today. We're looking to raise right now about $7 million to build the runway, to start flying those aircraft, to start building the STEM Academy, all these other things to start.
When are you going to break ground?
We're expecting to break ground probably February or March. It depends on the Clark County Planning Division.
So right now it's just 240 acres of
dirt,
Joshua trees.
Dirt. Yeah, you can buy some trees from us. We'll have some Joshua trees for sale.
Wow. So Rob, you're like
you have a well. We have water there.
And what about the tortoises? Are you going to disrupt them? And what about those wild horses?
We will have a.
Where's PETA at?
We actually will put a little tiny tortoise fence around the entire property and clear the area of tortoises. And we've already done that we actually built a road all the way, a 1.25 mile road from the highway to the property, and we cleared the tortoises. So
you've done that already.
Yes.
How long have you been working on this project?
Since December. Oh. Not too long. So we're about a year and a half away from getting our license for the spaceport. Then we'll be pursuing the large amount of capital to be able to build the whole facility.
And what type of permits would you have to pull?
Well, we have to pull, of course, zoning and conditional use permits, and with the county level. But the federal level, we need a permit, a spaceport license. And then, like I said, there's an actual division of spaceport licenses at the FAA. And we're going through that FAA office to get a license to operate a spaceport.
So you're on the Clark County side, not the Nye?
We're in Clark County, yes.
So you're going to be in front of the county commission for a good 2, 3, 4 years?
we've already worked with them. We've already started to educate them about what we're working on.
Yeah, and then when they leave, because election, you're going to have to start it all over again. Because I've been told in next year that some of them is going to be going bye-bye, is what I've been told.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
You haven't even pulled your first permit yet.
Well, we will be we'll be setting drawings in about 30 to 60 days.
Well, hopefully they're Trekkies.
So
they
far
see the appreciation of it.
So far, we've talked to most of them, and they've been very supportive.
You have to submit an architectural drawing and the whole
Well, we're doing it
nine
step
yards.
by step. I've been in business since I was 21 years old, self-employed. I haven't had a job since I was 21. I've been self-employed all these years.
Just like Biden, this guy here.
No, I work for myself. I don't get a government check every month.
No, it sounds like how when Howard Hughes came out and he was experimenting with aircraft, and he came out. This is an innovative new thing that we could bring here to Vegas for space tourism, for technology, and to innovate and advance the human race. I commend you for bringing this here to Vegas, and I hope that you can be on that level of Howard Hughes, where he came and developed all the aircraft and the testing. If this could be a facility to test rockets and spacecraft and different technologies to go and mine out there, it's going to be amazing. Steve,
It is, but like you said, baby steps. So this is going to be where?
It's 240 acres, 15 miles from Las Vegas by helicopter, and it's about a 45-minute drive. I was just out there yesterday.
What is it out there, like off the Nye Freeway, whatever?
It's
that?
off the 160 highway.
160
Yes.
highway. It's off of that.
So if you Google Yellow Pine Solar Project, it's on the other side of the highway.
So that's a 4-lane road, right?
Yes.
2-lane going and 2-lane coming back.
Correct.
Do you think the county is going to have you expand that road because there's going to be a lot of trucks and all that stuff?
Well, the county has no say over it. Actually, it's NDOT.
Oh, is NDOT?
NDOT.
You think NDOT's going to have you widen that road?
No, not unless we have that much traffic. I don't think that's going to be. I think we're going to be going different directions.
Conditions?
I think technology is going to drive transportation technologies in a different direction in the future. So we have Elon Musk here, who's got the Boring Company.
Are you going to cause a traffic jam on that 160?
He's going to have a hyperloop to the spaceport, like underground, and then didn't you say you're having like a floating tram or something too from Vegas to? Or was that something? No, I was thinking about LA.
No, that was someone else.
Oh.
Somebody's yelling at me. Let him talk.
Yeah, sorry.
Are you going to cause a traffic jam on that 160? Because Nye County people is going to want to know.
Well, the traffic jam will be coming from Clark County, right?
Okay.
Not from Nye County.
Okay. But that'll
only be when we have big conventions and events.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about all the construction you're going to have to bring up there, like
those are going to be
cement and the workers and all these supplies.
Well, that's going to be jobs for Nye County. We go to the Nye County Home Depot for materials.
Okay.
We're going there we've hired their contractors ready to build our road.
Why would you go to Home Depot? Why don't you just go to a wholesaler and get it cheaper?
Well, we just had to buy stuff.
Pay retail when you do that. Right?
Actually, it's the most efficient place to go.
Okay. Are you their spokesman now? The Home Depot?
No, but I should get a commission.
You should. So it sounds very exciting, and it sounds like a lot of work.
It's a long process. So I'm playing the long game. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to be, probably the end of the decade before we see space planes and actual folks getting on planes that go to space.
Is this property, is this surrounded by mountains?
It is surrounded by some mountains, but there's not sufficiently caused any risk to us. Okay. So we're several miles away from the mountains.
And I want to get back to this wildlife thing because that seems to be an issue with a lot of people that are building. Have you cleared the way for that?
Well, we have to do an environmental impact study.
Okay.
But Clark County has specific rules, and we're complying with those rules for construction.
And there's also a soil study as well?
Well, it's mostly caliche underneath, so we're not really concerned. It's very solid rock.
Okay. And that's no BLM?
BLM surrounds us.
Okay.
So the land that we own is in Clark County, and the land around us is BLM. Okay. So BLM doesn't necessarily have a say over it because it's Clark County land.
BLM is for Bureau of Land Management, not Black Lives Matter. Just to let you know. And Bureau of Land Management, I'm surprised they haven't sued Black Lives Matter for using the acronym. Just like the WWF, World Wrestling Federation, and World Wildlife Federation sued World Wrestling Federation. That's why it's called WWE now, World Wrestling Entertainment, because of that lawsuit.
And they own like 70% of the land in Nevada too, right?
So education.
Spaceport America out of New Mexico,
Right.
they have a slogan, Gateway to Space.
Right.
And we used that initially, and they sent us a letter threatening to sue us. So
That's Richard Branson, right?
Well, don't use the Final Frontier because Captain Kirk is suing
so we
too.
changed our slogan. It's now I need my space.
Need my space.
That sounds like a storage unit.
Hey, there might be a spacecraft storage out there.
I just heard enough from women, I guess.
Oh, is that what they tell you? Is that why you're single?
Now, Rob, would you go to space if you could? I mean, would you go out there and mine, or would you go out to the moon or Mars?
No, he doesn't do that. He's just a
Start a colony
airport.
or something. Well, no, but
Basically, right? He's just building an airport. You're not flying. You're not.
Well,
It's like Harry Reid Airport. You know, you got what? Not TWA. I'm thinking way back. Southwest. You got Spirit. You got Virgin Airlines. So all those, they're just going to rent hangar space from you, right?
Correct. And terminal space.
Yeah, he's not doing any flying.
so
It's so much liability.
private pilots land and take off from there.
You'll be able to bring in your own airplane and fly in and park there and stay in the hotel and go on a spacecraft or rocket or whatever. Yeah.
Sounds
Absolutely.
very interesting.
Yeah. So we're planning on a lot of events there, some conventions, some air shows coming up.
Hot air balloon exhibits.
We got some exciting stuff we'll be announcing in a couple of weeks that we're planning out there for the public in the
Are
next,
you gonna let
next
us
year.
know?
I'm not ready yet, and we're not quite ready, but I will definitely let you know when we're ready.
Rob, when they perfect it, you'll go out there. You go.
So one of the things we will be providing, which I can tell you, next year we'll be doing an air show where we're going to have some amateur rocket demonstrations. And these rockets are amazing. They're 20 feet high. They launch up and go 5,000, 6,000 feet up. They're extremely exciting to watch. We'll have some of those, some drone races, some other demonstrations, some astronomy classes out there. We're going to have a lot of stuff that we're going to try to invite the public out and engage the public.
And what the lieutenant governor said when he came.
Oh, he thought it was great. He was excited to come out there. He thought what we're doing is perfect because what did all the politicians say? We want to diversify our economy. This is the ultimate in diversifying our economy. Not only is it going to diversify our economy and bring high-paying jobs, it's going to bring tourists, even more tourists.
I saw him today at the Keystone lunch, and I was looking for you. Where were you at?
I was working on the spaceport.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Lauer. Did we cover everything? There's anything that you want to get out there that we missed?
No, just go to our website at Spaceport, at LasVegasSpaceport.org. You can check it out. Check out some of our videos, and in about 6 months, you'll be able to sign up and actually go on rides to the edge of space on our fighter jets, and you'll be able to take zero gravity flights.
Okay. Well, Mark is going to zoom in on you, and you have the final word. You could direct people to your website, and if they want to invest into your project, you can do that as well. And any point of contact.
Tell them what needs too. What needs to get it to fruition.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. My name is Rob Lauer. I'm the CEO of Las Vegas Spaceport, and I invite everyone to come to our website at LasVegasSpaceport.org. Check it out. Sign up on the website and give us our contact information. We'll let you know. Starting next year, we're going to have an opportunity for the average person to do zero gravity flights just like they do with the astronauts and go up 10,000 feet increments and experience gravity like you have on the Mars or on the moon or in space. You'll have an opportunity to go in a fighter jet to the edge of space. And we're going to have lots of exciting events that we're going to be so get us your information and so we can keep you up to date.
That sounds like a liability. You got to bring barf bags. You got to have a medical check. Make sure your ticker is working. Because people might just be scared out of their mind and just drop dead.
They'll definitely have
zero gravity.
They will definitely
10,000. How far?
They go up in 10,000 foot increments.
Oh,
Rob, you should.
So there will be flight medicals they'll have to take.
Sounds like a badass roller coaster ride.
Rob, you got to offer the 2 mile high club instead of the mile high club.
Well, it sounds very interesting, Mr. Lauer. I wish you success with that, and I hope it takes off because I sure would like to see it. I mean, that's the future of this country, right?
It is.
going into space. That's why the ex-president made a space
Space Force.
Well,
Space Force.
We better get up there before China and the rest of the world gets up there.
I know. And then
We're going to get left behind.
And then, did you hear about that thing happen on Fox 5 when there's some type of alien crash in somebody's backyard?
Yeah, you welcome
Did you and the
I did see that.
LVMPD?
I heard
Yeah.
about that,
So this thing is like, I mean, I believe I don't think that we are the only planet that have sustained some type of life. I think that, I mean, look how many planets. Those are the ones we even know about. But what about the ones we don't?
You want to? Let me blow your mind. Let me blow your mind. Our Milky Way galaxy has billions of solar systems. Billions in a Milky Way galaxy. And there are trillions of galaxies in the universe. Trillions that we know of. So imagine how many planets are out there. There's got to be other life.
That's why I don't understand why people just stay in their house, because this is a big world out there. They haven't even discovered America, much less go to discover the globe, and now we have a universe to discover. You know, people need to broaden their horizons, and I'm glad that you're doing that.
Are you inviting any aliens or foreign to the spaceport? Are they allowed to?
He doesn't know any.
Well, we're inviting them. We're inviting them to invest.
Okay.
If they want to bring some gold from.
Best technology, but
We'll take
he doesn't know any aliens.
We'll take their gold.
Maybe those 2 ex-girlfriends he had might be considered an alien. Maybe not. All right.
Welcome, science.
Well, Mr. Lauer, thank you so much for coming on the program. Mike, thank you.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Folks, that was Rob Lauer, CEO of
The Las Vegas
Space Force, Las Vegas Space Force. He might branch out to Nebraska or Wyoming, who knows. But right now it's going to be the Las Vegas Space Force and Spaceport. And, take interest. Maybe you want to invest or learn a little bit more or be a part of it. This is Steve Sanson and Michael McDonald, Veterans in Politics. Until next time.